right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tape Crusaders, the podcast that reviews every piece of shit ever made.
Seems like it.
I'm your co-host, Mike Gall, and as always, I'm joined by...
Joshua Mervell, and today we're going to be talking about part one of the pilot for Nightman.
Part two.
Yeah, the 1997 TV pilot.
And as always, we're joined by the world's biggest Nightman fan, Champion.
Hi guys, love me some Nightman.
That's right. Woo! Okay, but to be serious, how many of you two, out of the two of you, had heard of Nightman before this week? Joshua Mervell.
No.
Really?
No, I actually have not. I guess he's a Marvel Comics character.
We'll go into that. Not quite, but
okay.
He kind of is. But yeah, Champion. Had you ever heard of Nightman?
I've heard of Dayman, fighter of the Nightman,
yes,
champion of the sun.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I don't think I'd ever heard of this particular show, but not only had I heard of Nightman, I owned many Nightman comics.
Interesting.
Because I used to be a big fan of Steve Englehart. And to make a long story short, there was a startup company called Malibu Graphics, I think, in the early 90s. And there was this phase everyone went through where they launched all these superhero universes, okay? Dark Horse had one, Image had one, Malibu had one. So this was the Ultraverse, okay?
Ooh.
Who else was part of the Ultraverse?
No one you've ever heard of. There was Prime.
Anyone you've ever heard of?
Yeah, semi. There was Prime. There was Hardcase, I think. There was The Strangers and Nightman and a few others. And basically, they got all these kind of ousted creators from Marvel and DC to create this new universe. And I kind of bought into the idea that it was awesome. And to be fair, George Perez did draw Ultra Force. So that was actually good. And Chris Sprouse was in there. Derek Robinson, co-creator of The Boys.
Oh, okay.
He actually drew Nightman. Okay.
Oh.
So I collected like 200 of these comics, read one issue, realized it was crap, sold them all. And anyway, so to make a long story short, to prevent DC from buying up this competitor, Marvel swooped in, bought Malibu Graphics, and then as they do with all these characters, they're like, oh, we're going to incorporate them to the Marvel universe and have them fight Wolverine and Dark Phoenix and all this crap. And basically turned it into crap. It failed. But what they did was they kept their coloring technology. At the time, comics... This was during the time where comics were moving from doing the old style, crappy dot style coloring with like offset crap.
Half-toning?
Yeah, half-toning, whatever it's called, and then moving to computer coloring.
Okay.
So this is kind of the transition. So anyway, there was an Ultra Force cartoon that lasted one season, and then somehow there was a Nightman TV show that lasted 2 seasons, 44 episodes total. Okay. Now, here's the thing: is I did ask you to have your Wikipedia open.
Oh,
the
yeah.
reason I did is because I was watching the show and I was like, "This is not bad. It's pretty good." Well, it turns out, did you guys look up the guy who created the show? Check him out.
Glen A. Larson?
Yeah, check out his name. He is the co-creator of. Check this out, folks.
Buck Rogers in the 20th century.
Buck Rogers, Battlestar Galactica.
Hardy
The
Boys.
Misadventures of Sheriff Lobo. Everyone's heard of that one. Quincy Emmy, Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew Mysteries.
Magnum P.I.
Magnum
Knight
P.I.
Rider.
Fall Guy. Like, this is a big name producer. So as I was watching the show, I thought, it's not terrible. And it did last 44 episodes, which is, I thought it was
Josh,
maybe...
do you think it was terrible?
Better than The Flash, better than a couple of those other shows. Ian, what did you think of this 2-part episode that we watched?
I struggled getting through it.
Okay.
It just so you know, we are filming this on January the 1st
Yes.
of the year 2025. And I watched this 2-parter when I woke up this morning. So
Awesome.
Nightman is the first thing that I watched.
What a way to
this
ring
year.
in the new year. Yes.
And I was a little irritated about that because I'm not going to be able to forget it. It'll exist up here. Oh,
That's
Nightman.
a good point. Yeah.
It's attached to a date that I'll remember. Like, I'm not going to remember when I watched. I don't know.
Hopefully this isn't a sign to come for 2025.
Oh God, I hope not.
An apocalyptic sign. Yeah.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
but the acting wasn't terrible.
Yeah. Most of the acting was pretty good.
Most of the acting was competent, but everything else was really cheesy. Really cheesy.
Okay.
The sets were cheesy. The special effects were
everything
atrocious.
Bonkers cheesy.
Yeah, atrocious. We'll get to specifics in a minute. Josh, what's your impression of part 1 and half of part 2 that you watched?
Yeah. So when the opening started, I was kind of looking forward to it. I was like, this is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It had like an 80s like ridiculous vibe to it. The montage of him like jumping in the car, punching people, or like using his powers, and then like of course when the credits roll, they all almost do this like look into camera type of like sitcom-y thing. I'm like, this is going to be so like terrible that it's good. And then I started watching it and I realized it's so terrible that it's just terrible. Like it's not fun. I fell asleep watching it. Like I just couldn't stay awake. And I have insomnia, so I actually might put this on tonight to sleep.
To help you go to sleep?
Medically prescribed nightman.
Yeah.
So wait, so for those that don't know, the Nightman TV show is slightly different from the comic, but basically he's a regular guy.
Is anyone going to notice this?
Well, they probably won't care.
That's not faithful to.
But one thing that's faithful is that in the comic, as in the TV show, he's
boring.
He's riding in a streetcar that gets struck by lightning.
Okay.
And that's how he gains his single. He only has one real superpower, and that's the ability to hear evil thoughts. That's it. He can hear evil thoughts.
Yes, they explain it like his brain is now like a radio.
Yes.
That's tuned to evil frequencies.
To evil frequencies. Because the human brain can only use 10% of its potential, but he's learned to use more. So on top of that superpower, he's
also Iron Man.
Well, here's the thing. My pet peeve about superheroes is when they have like natural abilities, but also other abilities like he can hear evil thoughts naturally, but he also coincidentally gets like this suit.
Yeah.
Like
that he can fly,
armor,
levitate.
like military grade armor.
He can turn invisible. Like it's every power you could ever think of.
Oh, his other disability is that his eyes are permanently dilated, so he can see well at night, I think.
Oh, I didn't remember.
Yeah, that might only be in the comic, but then he also, on top of that, has a laser eye. He has one eye that's always red, and it shoots lasers.
He can melt things.
He can melt things.
He can also like create an exact holographic copy of himself
to play saxophone.
To play saxophone without sleeves.
Without sleeves, and he can fly. And is he strong? I don't think is he strong?
I think so.
Okay.
Why not?
Oh man! So here's the thing: like this is such a convoluted origin and convoluted set of powers.
Even his costume feels like so, like it's everything.
Okay.
It feels like a little kid making their own superhero and just like doodling it on a paper.
What do you think of his mask?
It's awful. It's
just with the hair sort of poking out the sides.
The hair is poking out the sides, and then the eye,
and then the one red eye.
It's not good.
No.
Yeah, even like the powers feel like a kid. Like, well, he's got psychic ability to read evil thoughts, but he can also fly and duplicate himself, turn invisible.
I know.
It's like it almost feels like they're just making it up as they go.
Like a really excited 8-year-old is making it up as he goes.
Yeah.
Okay, here I gotta say one thing. Steve Englehart used to be one of my favorite writers, and our friend Paul Carbonaro has had Steve Englehart as a guest at his comic convention. Steve Englehart's an interesting guy. He came into prominence in the 70s. He wrote Avengers. He wrote he wrote Batman. But the thing about him is that he's one of those people that kind of hypes himself up a lot and says things, whether they're true or not, and then repeats them to the point that like he must believe them, but like they're not necessarily true. So he wrote a very brief run in Detective Comics that he says is the definitive take on Batman. And then he says it, and then every
Wow.
time he references that story, he's like, well, I already wrote the definitive take on Batman, and then here's a link to me saying I wrote the definitive take on Batman. And then he's also like, well, my writing inspired the Batman film. To be fair, he did write a draft of the Batman film. I'll give him that. But he has it in his head that, like, well, the success of Batman is because of me. And then if you read his website, he's like, so I already inspired the Batman film, and I inspired this, and I inspired that, and M. Night Shyamalan's film Unbreakable. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Okay. In the film, Bruce Willis becomes a superhero. You remember this?
Oh, yeah.
And one of Bruce Willis's abilities is to touch people and kind of like flash forward and see, oh, this guy's going to kill someone, or this guy's going to whatever. Obviously, M. Night Shyamalan's Unbreakable. He could have only gotten the idea for a superpower to hear evil thoughts from Nightman. So I also inspired that. So Steve Englehart has a list of film properties he inspired, and it's like Batman, Unbreakable, this, that, the other, and it's like, but Steve, you didn't actually do any of this, you know what I mean? But he's kind of just said it so many times that he believes it.
So you didn't find Nightman to be an inspirational watch?
Okay, I can say a definitive no, I did not.
Okay, just checking.
It was very generic. Okay, I'll give him credit. He plays saxophone. That was original.
Yeah, but sometimes things that are original are also very, very stupid.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Sometimes there's a reason why this hasn't been done before.
Yeah, that's right. There's probably been dozens of other writers have thought maybe you should play saxophone, and they're like, no, that's actually really stupid, so I'm not going to use that idea. But Steve Englehart was the only one that used it.
Who knows? Maybe I don't know what came first, but doesn't Drax in the comics play saxophone from
I don't know.
Guardians?
Does he? I don't know.
I think he's a saxophone player.
Okay.
But is he also a blonde beefcake?
That's true.
Okay, wait. Okay, let's just talk about this actor. What's his name? The guy
Matt
who plays...
McColm.
Oh, shit.
Sure.
Okay. He was okay, but he is a blonde beefcake, right?
He is.
He's not bad. I don't know. Is he better or worse than the guy who played
Thor in The Incredible Hulk. 'Cause that's all I can think of.
Well, what was that other TV show we watched? Okay, well, we watched The Flash. What was that other TV show we watched where there was like a superhero that had a group of people that helped him, and they had like their own little ship? What show was that?
Chip?
It was like
Ship.
it was like a ship, or not a ship, but like a base, a home base. Oh my god, we've watched so many of these crappy shows.
I'm distracted by Thor in the
And it was
the
like a
Hulk film.
Yeah,
helicarrier type
yeah,
of
what
thing.
show was
yeah,
that?
what was that?
It was another 90s.
Yeah, we can't even think of what it was. It was, oh my god, we've reviewed so many of these things. I don't even know what that was. Anyway, it'll come back to us. Okay, the guy was okay. He was fine.
He was fine, although he looked... He worked as Nightman, as the
Yeah.
guy who's going to be the superhero.
Yeah.
He did not at all work as a jazz musician.
As Johnny Domino, you
Johnny
mean?
Domino.
Yeah, what a name.
Johnny Domino, my goodness. Ridiculously cheesy. I did do a little research into Matt McColm.
Interesting.
You know what else he'd worked on in the past?
What?
Well, this is after Nightman, but he was in a little film called Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
What?
Yes. And his role there, he was Arnold Schwarzenegger's body double.
Are you freaking kidding
No,
me?
I'm absolutely serious. I'll even
Wow.
click on this
Wild.
thing.
He's not, but that's different from stunt double, right?
Like, look
But
at...
it would be like his stand-in.
Okay.
We just-
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
But I mean,
guess
like,
he was pretty beefy.
He was beefy. He was
Okay.
beefy.
Beefy.
But, wow. Okay.
Okay, so we all agree he was beefy.
Yeah.
He was good. Okay, now, this is awesome. Love interest. Do you know who plays his love interest? The blonde girl. There's two girls.
There is two girls. What was her name?
Blonde girl. Oh, her name's Taylor Dayne. And I know that because she sold 75 million albums.
Yes. Two-time double platinum recording artist. Taylor
Right.
Dayne.
Are you familiar with Taylor Dayne?
It's like back in the
Not
80s.
off the top of my head,
So-
but might be familiar with songs.
Well, we're not going to sing them, but
Okay.
I'll rattle off some titles. Don't Rush Me. Have you heard that? Ian, do you have the list?
No.
Don't rush me.
I'm not calling up the list. This is
Damn it, I can't remember the rest. But basically, have you heard of Paula Abdul?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
she was like just before Paula Abdul, just around the same time as Debbie Gibson. It was a strange time.
It was a strange
It was
time.
so strange that she sold 75 million records and now no one remembers who she is.
Who was this? Sorry?
Taylor Dayne.
Taylor
She was
Dayne.
the girlfriend. She was the love interest.
Oh, I don't see her name
blonde.
It's
here.
gonna be down in guest appearances here.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Taylor Dayne.
Gotcha.
So rattle off some numbers here. Can I bring this up here?
Yeah, sure.
Hold on a sec here. Taylor Dayne, folks, known for Tell It to My Heart, Prove Your Love, I'll Always Love You, Don't Rush Me, With Every Beat of My Heart, Love Will Lead You Back, and I'll Be Your Shelter. She has many top 20 hits. Heart of Stone, Can't Get Enough of Your Love. She's sold 75 million albums and has 3 gold singles.
It's
That's a
very,
pretty
very
big
love
accomplishment.
happy, this one.
Yeah, birth name Leslie Wonderman. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
None of that rings a bell. I just know her from Nightman.
Okay.
The pinnacle of her career.
Yeah. So she was a pop star, probably because he was a saxophone player.
Right.
They decided that let's get a pop star in there. So yeah, at the time she would have been pretty big. It'd be like, I mean, she was not as big as Taylor Swift, but who's like the sub Taylor Swift right now in 2025? Who's like the
like
We're
current,
supposed to know
yeah?
that.
It's just someone
currently,
who's like
like,
not as big as Taylor Swift, but almost the same level.
Sabrina Carpenter maybe right now, or
So she was
Billie
the Sabrina
Eilish. I don't
Carpenter
know.
of her day.
Sure,
Imagine
okay.
that if she was in a TV show where
Okay.
a guy flew around on a green screen and shot lasers out of his eyes
and got struck by lightning. Wow.
and activated his anti-gravity by using the same exact XLR mechanism that I use to activate a headset at St. Clair College. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah.
No,
It looked like it was like, is this a wireless mic
yeah,
pack
it was
that he's?
the wireless. It was like I own it. Like his anti-gravity thing, I have it at work. Like
Do you
it
think that there's like an evil corporation at St. Clair
could be. You never
making
know.
something
you
in
never
the
know.
basement that's actually a cave?
Yeah, that could be it.
Put that down. That's not a tripod. That's a neutron gun.
Yeah, oh my god, the neutron gun that he uses to disintegrate the bad guys. Like that was outrageous. Anyway, what else are we going to talk about? Are there any more actors we need to talk about?
I
No.
think there's a few. There's a
Okay.
few.
Okay.
His dad.
The dad, Earl Holliman, who has a storied career. He died 2 months ago.
Oh wow, we just
wow.
missed
This guy.
it. He's
Yeah.
never going to see this review.
No. At the age of 96.
Wow.
What is he?
He couldn't
what
have
has
held
he
out
been in?
another 2 months.
See, this
anyway. But also the whole running subplot of like, this is something I really hated. His dad is like mixed in with the action. And it's like, oh, I thought I saw someone with a red eye. Well, you were obviously imagining it because that didn't happen. Oh, you're probably right. So his dad is in on the action for the whole episode, but they have to just keep convincing him that Nightman is not his son. Like, it's so fucking stupid. And I think there's 2 characters that they do that for. 2 characters that see Nightman, or is it always the
Right.
dad? I don't remember.
Well, the dad's got the dad's a retired cop.
Yeah.
But there's another cop who is his dad's old partner.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know if maybe that was him too. I was distracted by the names of these people.
Right.
All right. As soon as you said we're watching Nightman, if anyone out there's watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, The Nightman Cometh is one of the one of the most popular It's Always Sunny arcs. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
And the character that plays Charlie Kelly, who wrote an entire musical called The Nightman Cometh in order to impress a girl that he likes, his name is Charlie Day.
The actor, yeah.
Okay.
Now, what is...
Is this a direct reference to the show? Could
No,
it be?
it's something that confused me.
Okay.
Because, yes. His dad's old partner, his name is Lieutenant Charlie Dan.
Oh.
So like, Charlie
come
Dan,
on.
what?
This has
Are
to
they
be-
saying Charlie Day? Not to mention, Taylor Dayne, her character's name is Carla Day.
Okay, this
So
cannot
like,
be a coincidence.
where's Charlie Day coming out of this? So I can't not. So
This has to be direct reference. Like,
I'm sure,
there's some
yeah.
Nightman fans out there that ended up working on it.
But that's
It's Always Sunny in
that's
Philadelphia.
impossible though,
Why?
because these names came far earlier than It's Always Sunny, and Charlie Day is the actor's name.
Actor's name, not the character's name.
Oh my God. Okay. I don't know then.
I don't know. Like, none of this means anything.
Yeah.
But I'm just sitting there
It's a
watching and
cosmic
thinking,
coincidence.
Right, yeah.
You just want me to think about something that I'd rather be watching than this.
Possibly. That could be a sign.
Yeah.
Could be a sign.
Sign for me to turn this thing off.
No, but you didn't. Good. Me and Ian watched both parts. Josh only watched part 1 and then half of part 2. So basically, we're not going to tell you the plot of this episode, really. Well, Ian, you can give like the 30-second version. A guy gets struck by lightning, gets powers. Then what happens?
Yeah. He gets powers. There's some weapons that have been not stolen, but they've been squirreled away by some government agents.
Yeah.
They're trying to trick them into delivering them somewhere so they could be sold to the highest bidder. The guy that's in charge of keeping them safe teams up with Nightman.
Johnny Domino.
And gives, like, I met you 2 days ago, but you seem like a stand-up guy, so here, have all these top secret weapons. And then they try to kill everyone who's trying to buy the weapons.
I don't remember everything about this episode, but he gives them all these doohickeys, and then he's like, "Oh, and this cape makes us invisible," and then he just it's almost like a Harry Potter thing. They kind of hold it up and they're invisible,
and they plug it into the mic pack.
Yeah, that's where they introduced the mic pack. I thought the mic pack activated the anti-gravity, didn't it?
I think it does it all.
Both.
Does it all?
Yeah. Like, that's kind of their battery.
And then they just decide to float up to the top of the building and climb out through like the sunroof type thing.
Very convincing.
And then they
run out of batteries.
And then they're flying and we ran out of batteries. And they fall into like a river, and that's like the end of part 1, to be continued. And then it just picks up from there, and it's just okay. It's not well written. I'll give you that. It's not well written.
It's terribly written.
Is there anything good about this show?
No.
Okay. Special effects.
Part 2?
Yeah. Okay. On to part 2.
It's really not great. I know we talk about it a lot, about like really hitting you over the head with things and like having to explain things instead of showing you.
Yeah.
But this show is so unbelievably bad for it. The thing that I don't know why I kept picking up on was Johnny Domino's in the hospital, and I think he like rips off his like bracelet, right? Like the hospital ID bracelet.
Yeah.
And then one of the goons comes up and goes, "Oh my God, it's a hospital ID bracelet." And then he goes to the boss and he goes, "Look, boss, it looks like it's some sort of hospital ID bracelet. I wonder who it's for." And then the bad guy goes to the in the prison, I think, to his dad, like, "Look, do you know what this is? It's your son's hospital ID bracelet." It's like,
there's a lot.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying.
I get it.
There's a lot of bad moments, like even like when. I think there's a scene where, like, you know, the cop has jurisdiction, but then a different department comes in and they're yelling at each other. And
it's not subtle. Like,
no,
it's
like you said about the show. Seems like the character seems like it was created by a teenager. The writing seems like it was all written by a teenager imitating a real drama or a real like action. It was garbage. It was almost nothing good about this.
Like it's crazy. Like, we know what it is. We saw it on his wrist, and then we see it on the ground.
Okay.
And then you see him pick it up, and then you see him hand it to the bot. Like, you don't need to explain to us the object over and over again. Like, it was baffling to me. I don't know why.
Whoever's working in the prop department probably worked really hard on that bracelet.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Oh, look at this bracelet. Looks like a real one.
But you don't
we're going to show this over and over again.
You just show it. Like, it's okay to show it, but you don't need to explain to us what it is. Like, we know. Like, that's everything about this show.
Yeah.
It's like it's nothing is subtle. It's so like in your face what's going on.
I guess the question is, though, how did this show last 44 episodes?
That's a great question.
2 seasons, which, by the way, The Flash only lasted 13, right? How did this last 2 seasons?
Force only...
And on top of that, did you make it far enough into the second half to see the special guest?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
You didn't see David Hasselhoff
Oh
make
my
a
God.
surprise guest appearance. Yes.
As Nick Fury or just
No, as Nick
okay.
Fury, just as like a bad guy,
Oh,
like the bad guy's assistant or something.
Yeah. He was on screen for maybe 12 seconds,
And then he got
punched in the face. And then somebody made a comment, "Oh, life's a hassle."
I didn't even notice that.
Shut
Wow.
up.
Yeah. Oh, but again, the show lasted 2 years, so someone was watching it. Someone was watching the show. I don't know. It was a strange time, right? This is still 97?
This lasted 2 seasons.
Two full seasons, yeah.
The Cape didn't even get 1 season.
The what?
The Cape.
What was the Cape?
Yeah. Oh, it was like 2007 or something
okay.
like that.
I still can't remember. What was the show that I mentioned earlier that we can't remember the name of, that we reviewed and did an episode of?
Yeah.
What was it?
Oh, The Human Target.
Yes, the
Yeah.
Human Target. Right. Okay, that was it.
Because the base is they flew it around
Yes,
from
that's
place
right.
to place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This show lasted longer than the Human Target. How is that possible? The Human Target had a better concept.
And slightly better special effects.
Yes. The
Slightly
special effects in this were garbage. Like the green screen, the flying.
Not just green screen,
All
like green
garbage.
screen on top of green screen on top of green screen. Like
Yeah.
there were some scenes that you could count 3 or 4 layers of,
Yeah.
and it looked so fake.
Yep. Nightman.
It was rough.
So basically, to make a long story short, you have Marvel, you have DC. And I'm not even going to talk about like Doc Savage and all those prototype superheroes. But beyond Marvel and DC, the only other companies that ever had characters that got adapted to live action media, I mean, they were all eventually bought up by Marvel or DC. Charlton was bought up. Fawcett was bought up. Quality was bought up. And then Malibu was the only one, as far as I can remember, that Marvel bought. It's the only one. And Nightman, for some reason, was the character they picked to adapt. Probably because he kind of looks like Batman with the black.
Right.
Maybe. And
Yeah,
then all-
I'd have been fooled.
Yeah. and then Ultra Force was a cartoon. And oh, by the way, there is an episode of Ultra Force with Nightman in it. If you want to check it out,
No,
Josh, I can send
definitely
you the
gonna-
link.
yeah.
I'll send you the link. Don't worry. Okay, I don't know what else we can say about this.
There's nothing. I
Is this one of the worst ones we've ever watched? Do you think?
for me, it
I
was,
do want to talk about this backdrop for 2 seconds.
Okay, let's watch it.
You
Oh,
notice
yeah.
You mean
this
this
is
motion
this
backdrop?
motion backdrop, which
some sort of
It's
moving
pretty cool.
picture.
How did you find it?
grabbed. This was wholesale downloaded from an archive of the original 1997 version of the Nightman official website.
Really?
Yes, that is the actual animated GIF that was on the website.
Oh my God,
in
that's
1997.
incredible.
And to show how far we've come, I was looking at this website. I was like, why is this cut into 2 pieces? There was a top half and a bottom half. The bottom half is separate because it's the only part moving.
Wow.
So to save bandwidth, the upper half
That's incredible.
is its own individual thing. But yeah, you can go onto archive.org and go on to the Nightman official website where there are links where you can email the show's producers
Really?
with promises of, oh, have you ever wanted to affect the outcome of your own superhero movie or superhero TV show?
But
I'm
this is-
gonna email them.
This is crazy though, because I was looking at Steve Englehart's website today, and he had screen caps from the Nightman website. So this
Oh,
must be a
really?
big deal.
Must be.
Maybe not.
the first website
The
ever.
first website ever designed.
1997.
I have to mention, they did change the name of the spelling of the Nightman character.
Oh,
In the
there's a
TV
space.
show, it's Nightman with no space, and the comic
Right.
book, it's the Nightman with a space.
So interesting.
Yes, it is. And
you-
that's why you watch this show, to find out these things.
I love knowing, like learning that somebody at some point, no, we're changing that.
I know.
No.
That's going to make or break this character.
No.
If you want to get 44 episodes out of this character, we're going to change the spelling.
wonder
just
why.
a little bit. Who knows? I don't know. So Nightman does not exist anymore. The characters...
Rest in peace,
apparently-
Johnny
yeah, rest in
Domino.
peace, Nightman. Apparently, I think the deal, like when Marvel bought the characters, if they ever use them or reprint them, they have to pay the creators. And so they're just like, okay, we're not going to use them then. And that's basically the end of the Ultraverse, the end of Malibu. That's pretty much it. So you're never going to see Nightman again, apparently. But there is a DVD box set of this series that you can get.
I won't be.
Is it
getting
expensive?
I don't know, maybe $20 or something. Why, you gonna check it out?
No, it's expensive.
Okay. But you can download them all, as you saw. Oh, by the way, we watched this episode. Funny enough, I started watching this two-parter on Tubi, and then as of January 1st, 2025, they lost the rights. so then I had to go to Plex to finish it off. It was ridiculous the way it worked out, but I guess Nightman is a hot property, right? Yeah.
I wonder if somewhere out there somebody is even just a little upset about losing the rights.
I know, eh? Who knows?
Oh, shit, we lost Nightman?
Yeah, fuck. Okay, so there you go, guys. Nightman from Malibu Comics, created by Steve Englehart and I believe Derek Robertson. So you can check it out on Plex. Yeah, the whole series, not just the pilot, all 44 episodes.
He's a master of karate and friendship for everyone.
Those karate scenes we didn't even mention. Oh my god, I don't even want to talk about them. They're so bad. When he karates the guy in the car. Remember the guys in the car? Anyway, this show's bad, but check it out anyway. I'm gonna recommend you watch it for fun. Josh, do you recommend it?
No.
Okay, Ian, do you recommend it? Do you recommend it?
Look, if I had to watch it, you got to watch it. That's just
the
how it
rule.
works. That's just how it works.
That's
if you don't
the
like
rule.
it, I don't know. Come at
Stop
me.
watching this show then.
So just so you know, this was bad, but things are about to get worse because in one of our upcoming episodes, we're going to review something that's even worse than Nightman. And then hopefully things will get much better after that. So be prepared, everybody. It's coming soon. Josh, tell everyone where we can find our episodes.
You can find all of our stuff over on our website at thecomicbooksyndicate.com. You can also find all of our video format versions on our YouTube channel. So check us out there. Let us know what you guys think about Nightman.
Or The Nightman,
Right.
as he's more properly called. Thank you, Champion, for hosting movie night every week at Meteor.
Anytime. Thanks for introducing me to this Nightman.
Yes,
I
and not The Nightman.
It's a nightmare.
don't know where I'd be without it.
All right, see you next time.
Michael.
I'm not even going to say it. I'm just leave it.